Hello everybody, welcome to Everything is For Me. Welcome to my channel. My name is For Me. I just wanted to talk a little bit about myself today. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you click on subscribe. It's right there, that little red button right there. Just click on subscribe. So I just wanted to do a little introduction about myself. I feel like I haven't talked much about who I am. So my name is Fumi. I'm Nigerian. I'm Yoruba, and I've been in this country in United States for the past 20 years. I came here when I was 15, and I came to join my parents and my siblings, and I've been here ever since. A lot of people ask me, is this my home? Is Nigeria my home? I mean, though I've lived here for so long, I feel like this is some parts of my home, but home to me is Nigeria. But I have also created another home for myself right here. So I have two sisters, and lately, I think in the last month, with everything happening with COVID, colorism, with everything happening with the women movement, and also even the Black Lives Matters, which is like the most important thing that is happening right now. I've been doing a lot of Instagram live because I feel like as a Nigerian American, I feel like my voice is not loud enough, and I feel like a lot of my peers that are Nigerian American or Africans in general, or people from the Caribbean, I feel like we are silent and we are not saying enough. So I've been interviewing different people. I interviewed my sisters, just to talk a little bit about their background, their story, how do they relate to being American, but also Nigerian American, because their parents are Nigerian. Their sister, like how do they feel in this world of chaos, right? So those are the conversation I've been having. I interviewed one of my very good friend, Mac. She's part owner of Junkyard. They have a video production company, and she's from Liberia, and I was able to talk to her, and she's been here since she was young, and she's raising children, and it was an interesting conversation. Like I posted the video. If you haven't seen it, make sure you watch it. So one of the things that started this conversation for me is because I feel like I said earlier, like as Nigerians, we come here because where we are coming from, we're here to survive, we're here to work, make money, and just do the right thing and send money home. So we try our best to stay focused and not get distracted. But Black Lives Matters is not a distraction. Knowing what is going on and how African Americans are being treated is not a distraction. It's part of life, because when you come here, you have children. Your children are going to continue what you started. So it's better to be aware and to pay attention and educate ourselves on what the issues are, how we are being treated, especially when we live here, we pay taxes here, we have houses here, we go to school here, we create family here, we spend 99% of our time in United States, not in Nigeria or Jamaica, or wherever we are from. So it's very instrumental that we are aware of what is going on in our environment, and not act like this is like a vacation, like you're here for 1 week and you're going back home, unless that's what you're here for, and then that makes sense. So one of the things that I want to talk about today is am I doing enough as Nigerian American? Am I saying enough? Am I educating my parents enough? Because my parents have been here since the early 90s, and I think more than ever they are more aware of racism this year, since for as long as they have. And I think the reason why they paid attention to it now is because they have my siblings. Like, we are going to rallies, we joined the movement, and we are able to educate them that instead of you thinking or saying, be careful, don't do this, mind your business, stay out of it, you have to educate your parents and let them understand that, though I am going to be careful, I am going to make sure I'm doing the right thing, but this issue affects me, affects my children, affects my next generation, affects my future, affects you as you're here. So we have to, because if we don't speak up, we are part of the culture that is silenced. So that's one of the issues that I want to talk about. So one of the things that I would tell you is, like, if you're Nigerian American, if you're a foreigner, or from a black country or anywhere, make sure you understand the culture of this country. Make sure you understand the history of this country. Make sure you are aware of how you are being treated. Make sure you know what your rights are. Make sure make sure you speak up when you see something is wrong. Don't just brush it under the carpet. Don't brush it under the table and say, oh, that's how they are, I'm just gonna do my own thing. I'm just here to make money. I just want to make money and send it back home. That's none of my business. That's not gonna work, because if 1 year you come here for 1 year become 2 years, 2 years become 3 years, 3 years become 30 years, and you are still saying the same thing. So at some point you have to sit down and you have to say, what role am I playing in this whole Black Lives Matters or colorism or racism or women movement, women not being treated right, Black women not being treated right, like in those areas we have to do better. So that's what I'm trying to say today. It's like, as a foreigner living in United States, I consider myself Nigerian American, and I've been here for 20 years. And I know now more than ever, when I have children, I'm going to raise them, teaching them the culture and the history of Black American, and how they came to this country and who they are. And I remember when I was talking to Mac, and I asked her, I said, what are you? Are you Black American? And I've asked myself that question also, like, what am I? And because every time I check the box, I check it as Black African American. And I know I'm Nigerian, but at the end of the day, I'm a citizen of this country. My voice matters. My voting matters. When they ask us to vote, I vote. So what role am I playing? Am I voting for the right candidate that will benefit not only me, but the next generation behind me, or that my sisters can benefit from, that my parents can benefit from when they retire? So those are the things that you have to teach your parents, your children, so that we are not just walking, like floating, like, oh, we're just here to make money and we're going back home, or that has nothing to do with us. If it has nothing to do with you, stay away from it. So those are the things that I would say you should be aware of. Have the conversation with your friends, have the conversation with your family member. If you have a family member that is racist, that is constantly talking bad about Black people or people of color, you are part of that cycle. You are part of that old culture that is not speaking up. So educate them on the history of America, of the history of United States, of the history of slavery, of the history of, it's 2020 and we're still dealing with this. We are still dealing with George Floyd's situation. Like, we are still dealing with Breonna Taylor. Like, I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and I'm like, I'm a Christian, I pray all the time. I said, like, how many prayers do I have to add to my list? Like, you're in your home at 9 times, sleeping with your boyfriend, just going to bed after working, you had dinner, you say good night, he said good night, and out of the blue, somebody open your door and start shooting at you. So at what point do we say, okay, this is getting serious? Like, this is a conversation that we have to be aware of, that what are our rights? What is your right in your community? What is your right in your street? Like, what are your local leaders doing? Are they speaking for you? Are they representing you? Even and the other thing is that because we're Nigerian and we act like we're Nigerian and we're here, we also have to be aware of it. We can't be quiet. Because you're Jamaican doesn't mean like, oh, that's what they do, I'm not going to involve myself. You have to say something. So as you're here, you not saying anything, you seeing things not getting done, you working in an organization that they refuse to hire or promote somebody that looks like you, is you're playing a role in that culture. So you always have to say something. You have to, when you know better, you do better. And I feel like for me, and since I've been learning, I feel like I am more aware of my role now. I am more aware of what I can do. I am more aware of how I can be a better person, be a better American, be a better Black American. How can I support my sisters, my brothers, that even though I was born in Nigeria and they were born here, they look like me. Like, if all hell breaks down, they are my brothers, they are my sisters. Like, what can I do to let them know that I'm here, I got you, I understand your story, I understand what you're dealing with, I understand what you know, how can I help you? And I think as foreigners, we need to do a better job in doing that. We need to do a better job being aware of that, and not say, oh, that's how they are, you know, they are always making trouble, they're always looking for trouble, what is their problem, what are they up to now? You know, we can't say that anymore. We can't like I'm on my bed laying down and the police showed up without a warrant and break down my door. They were minding their business. You understand? Like, George Floyd was minding his business. You understand? Like, you know, that could have been my uncle, that could have been my brother, that could have been my sister, that could have been me, you know, just walking the street minding my business. I remember a few weeks ago or last month, I went for a run and a cop car pulled over in front of me, just parked minding his own business, but I didn't know that. And immediately I saw the cop car, I was nervous, I started panicking, and I found myself just stretching my hands like, I hope you can see my hand, I don't have anything, I'm bare, like you can see my hand. And it was literally just minding his business. And that's why I'm saying, like, no matter what, this has created a new reality for us, that you should know what your right is, you know, do what you need to do to protect yourself, protect your family, be aware of the laws in your neighborhood, in your community, know what your rights are, speak up when you need to speak up, you know. And as a foreigner, we have to support our fellow African American, because that's who we all are. You know, the only difference is we came, they were dragged here. So those are the things that we have to be aware of. We have to support each other, we have to learn about each other's story, we have to learn about each other's history before we judge them. And I feel like when you know the history, not just by watching Ruth, because you see Ruth doesn't mean Ruth is like 10% of what happened during slavery, or because you hear the story of blah 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 happening, that was just, you know, a summary of what happened. Understand where they come from, understand their history, understand my history, respect them, respect each other. And I feel like if we respect each other enough, we will be able to appreciate each other's story. I hope I'm making sense, you know. And at the end of the day, all I'm saying is that, you know, as foreigners, Africans, when we come here, we need to speak up. We just don't need to, oh, I'm just doing my 9 to 5, I'm just gonna float away, you know, as long as I come here and stay out of trouble. Because I know, like, a lot of the time when we come from Nigeria, they tell us, mind your business, stay in this area, stay away from so crowd, blah blah blah, you know. But when you come here, these are the people that you look like. When you check that box, you check black. When you leave your home, you're black. You understand? So at some point you have to say, you know, this, I'm a black person, I am going to live with my people, I'm going to support my people. What can I do in my neighborhood? What can I do to educate my fellow neighbor that is not doing the right thing? How can I help that boy, girl, boy, child to do a better job? Because those are the future. So at some point we have to do better. We have to change the story, we have to change the history, we have to change our reality and understand what the new reality is all I'm saying. So I hope I hope I touch some nerves today, that if you're Nigerian, if you're Ghanaian, if you're Jamaican, if you're Caribbean, if you're from South Africa, if you are from Haiti, wherever you're from, learn the history of United States when you're here. If you're living here full time and this is where you've been for 20 years, 30 years, or even 5 years, 1 year, if this is where you decide to stay for the rest of your life, don't just float by. Learn the history, know your rules and regulations, know the laws, know your rights, and protect yourself. Okay, I hope you understand what I'm saying, and I hope I'm able to bring some information to you. As always, thank you very much. My name is Fumi. Welcome to my channel. And if you haven't subscribed, click on the subscription button, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.